And
You're not,
action.
you got to have a bit of fun in life.
Yeah, but I think we need to. Good evening, Gary. How are you?
Very well. This is going in.
It's not going in. This can't go in.
You can do it if you like.
Yeah, I know, but it's a bit insane. Anyway,
See
give
me.
us a count in. We'll go in for a 3, 2, 1, and yeah. Do you want to get rid of that banana?
No. So, 2 meters. It's active.
Good evening.
Oh yeah, good evening.
Yes, 2 meters is active.
Yeah. Have you seen anything on it? Have you heard anything?
Yeah, locally, 2 meters is yes, on the FM side of things is buzzing. Not too much activity on the repeaters or anything like that, but locally, about 3 or 4 channels continuously active throughout the day, which has been good to listen to, or not, as the case may be. But at least some of the conversations between the M6s and the M7s, the younger guys on the air, they have been using it quite consistently and operating brilliantly, having a good fun, using radio for what its radio is for. And then you got some of the senior generation, shall we say, sat on there moaning about how 5G is.
Death beams.
Huh?
Death beams. The glass is dying around the bottom of lampposts because they've got 5G in them.
Yeah, that one, and how they can't buy their favourite port or something. They're very bizarre.
What? And that's all 5G.
Well, yeah, this is the senior conversations versus what was on Fortnite. Yeah,
Fair enough.
all good stuff, man. All good stuff.
I don't know. I don't know really what frequency is 5G on. It's up there, isn't it? 60, 70 gigs.
Gigs, yeah, somewhere up there.
Are you googling it?
I was going to try.
Oh. I think what we should do, we need to get the quiz stuff working on the bottom, because I think we should make that happen. We should have a ham radio quiz, and you heard it here first. All right, ham radio quiz, virtual quiz.
Virtual quiz.
Virtual quiz.
Get a license at the end of it.
No, that's something completely different.
Oh dear. So yeah, Nokia won't tell me who it is. So if we can find someone who
I think
can.
it is. It's about 70 gigs, and I think there's 300.
5G uses between 24 to 90 gigahertz frequency.
Yeah.
Then asserts that within the RF radiation portion of the electromagnetic spectrum.
Well,
Yes.
also, that they've got on the top of the masts, on some of the masts anyway, there's a 300 gig mesh network on probably Yagi pointing at one another. So I think that would be crackers. That would be very good. I think.
Yes, I think having a good mesh network is good. A mesh network that doesn't work so well, from personal experience, is our friends at Sky. We had a new Sky Q boxes put in. Main dish is working fairly well.
Yeah.
The mini box, I've been doing a bit of digging around on that. It's supposed to connect to the Wi-Fi and then pull the signal off of the main box so you can get your signal. And it's been dropping out quite a few times, but that apparently in the first releases had some sort of power over Ethernet connection, which now doesn't exist. But they also use a thing where they try and do some sort of mesh network, Wi-Fi mesh network.
Okay.
Even if you plug a Ethernet cable, I've run the Ethernet cables up the side of the house specifically to plug into that, and it doesn't. It goes off and tries to find the Wi-Fi and does all sorts of weird things. So yeah,
Not turn that facility off.
No, it's trying to ensure that it's got redundancy at each point.
Right. So it's fine.
So at the moment, it's actually working. I changed the frequency on it, so I don't know if one of our neighbours has got something similar running and it was conflicting. But
As
yeah,
far
for quite some time it was.
as I know, mine doesn't use, because mine's all wired and it doesn't use Wi-Fi. Have you got a second box upstairs or something?
So we got the first mini box is upstairs and the main box is downstairs. The main box downstairs is nowhere near the router.
Right.
That's in the front of the house, and the skybox is in the middle of the house. So that's using the Wi-Fi. So it doesn't like to cross. So I think if you got them both hardwired, it'd be okay.
Right.
And maybe that's the next project, but trying to find a way of poking a hole through the ceiling, or
Got some cable if you need cable.
I've got tons of cable, but it's just trying to figure a way of doing it neatly, because there's no easy way to get it into the front room from the from the very front room to the middle room.
Okay. There is quite a good way of doing it. And I actually routed a slot in my skirting.
Problem is, we've got in the middle room, it's got the fireplace.
All right.
So yeah, it's
Is it a real fire? Do you actually use it?
yeah, it's a gas fire. Yeah. So yeah, you can't really run a cable behind it, in front of it, or anywhere near it. You'd have to go up and around, and yeah, that would start looking quite ugly. So yeah.
You can get that really nice stuff, can't you? The curved stuff looks really nice.
Yes. I can't remember what it's called now. It's not cladding. It's
Only trouble is no one's open, so
yeah. Anyway, what would have been nice is before we had the hardwood put down, we had floorboards, and we ran. So the existing Sky cable is under the floorboards, which is brilliant. But if I want to do that now with a network cable,
right.
I can't do it because it's got all the hardwood floors all glued down and tacked down. So there's no way of
And you
getting
have
to that.
to do sort of something under the floor. There's no crawl space or anything.
Yeah, there is, but you can't get to it. That's what I'm saying. So originally it had the floorboards, and you could unscrew them, and you could get under there, and they were all polished and looked nice. But since a couple of years ago, we've had hardwood put down. There's like this kind of, it's the next stage up from laminates. It's all this kind of interlocking wood that's glued and placed on top of it. So you just can't,
There's no
So
like
silly thought. I should have run the cable before they put it down.
or run pipe in. So anyway, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll get there. It's not a biggie.
Yeah, as I say, it seems to have been stable now for a week. So since I changed the frequencies on the boxes, so hopefully that's good.
So 2 meters is busy. Your mesh network is all sorted.
Yeah, from 2 meters again. Played, since I've had the lovely antenna, the what's it called, X50.
Yeah.
Yeah, since I've got the X50 from you guys over at Martin Lynch up on the chimney, that is working really well out into High Wycombe. I've been playing with Bob M6FLT, and we're getting very strong signals both ways. And we played SSTV earlier on in the week, and got some very good pictures coming backwards and forwards, really good quality. So yeah, not bad at all.
You're having some problems with it, with actually sending signal. They weren't all that good, or
yeah, receiving wise, I was getting some very crystal clear pictures coming in from Bob. But on my send, he was getting quite a bit of interference, I guess. On the picture, it's a little bit rougher. So I'm not sure if it's the signal link my side not putting out enough audio or something, or whether it's his side where his antenna's not exactly that brilliant. So it's going to take some experimenting, and maybe we can get somebody more local to.
I borrowed the 9700 from work, so the plan is that I will have a play with it some sort of time. And I sent you a link to the software, didn't I?
Yes, I have that.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we'll try and we'll get that running as well, so you can actually see what's going on both ends, and it'd be quite interesting to know how it works with the server.
Yeah, definitely.
9700, you've got a built-in server on that, so I can plug that directly into my router, give it an IP address, and do all that sort of groovy stuff. Open up ports. I think you're going to I might have to open up a couple of ports to let it through. Not sure. My light's just sandy, isn't it?
What happened there?
Light, it's gone.
Ah, Okay,
It's all right. Don't worry.
that's all right. Get a candle, quick.
A candle. Candle.
4 candles.
4 candles, sir.
Perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll open up some ports probably. I'll have to do that, and yeah, that'll be groovy. Be a bit of fun.
Definitely. Maybe I can send my SSTV your way, which is a lot shorter path, and see what they turn out your side.
So, we can set up a Zoom session both ways. So you can, and I can, obviously you can get the control of the screen. So that'll be quite nifty. So you'll be able to control the radio both sides.
That could be fun. I was going to say, do you remember when we were playing? It must have been about this time last year, and Bob was over this side, and we had the Zoom session running. We had the radios in the back gardens,
Right.
and we were playing, but there was about a 15-20 second delay between what we were seeing on the Zoom session versus what we were seeing, obviously from the radio side.
I love it. Technology's really moving on now, isn't it? I think if I think this whole scenario that we find ourselves in right now, if that was any other time, if the internet wasn't there, this would be a whole different ball game, wouldn't it?
Definitely, yeah. Let alone internet for all the games and stuff that the kids are playing, the amount of TV that we've got access to, the amount of content.
Yeah, well, that kind of brings me round to Zoom, and to a message to anyone that's is watching this. If you are, you want to talk to friends, family, and all that sort of stuff. I know Skype and all that sort of stuff is available, and maybe Google Hangouts and lots of other things.
House party.
House party. Never heard of that one.
Yeah.
The thing is, Zoom is actually free, and will give free up to, I think it's nearly 100 users all at once. And the nice thing with that is it's because it's a corporate sort of package, it's fairly robust, and it is really, really good. So you can have a bit of a good time with that, and it's totally free. Just
it's good quality video. Yeah.
I mean, at the moment, I've got one of the Logitech sort of things on here, but I've also I've got the one of the Microsoft ones, which is extremely good video, but it's getting on now a little bit, and it doesn't. Some of the drivers aren't supported, but it works really well in Zoom. So it's fairly sort of straightforward. My laptop downstairs with the built-in camera, that really works well. So yeah, I think.
And the fact that Zoom will work on your laptop, your PC, your iPhone, your Android, and any device that's got a camera on it.
If anyone's interested in playing with that, then just pop along to zoom.us. And it's a very simple. I think you can use it online, can't you, as well?
Yeah, so if you get sent a meeting invite by friends or family, then you can click on that and it'll open up in a kind of web browser for you.
Yeah, I mean, and it's quite interesting. I think you were saying earlier that that maybe this is the kind of the new way forward for maybe pubs and stuff like that, where that. I mean, I was listening to Dietz's Commander earlier on as well, because he sat down and was speaking with some of the RSGB guys, and I know two of them quite well. I think it's Steve and Ian. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I speak to them fairly regularly, at least sort of like a couple of times a year. Let's put it that way. Open Day and Friedrichshafen. So I still bumped into him there, and yeah, they were sort of talking about that as well. So I think that's probably that's a good way forward. I think not all the time. They were sort of saying about the sort of the prices of halls and that sort of going up, and the availability of halls, and now with all this kind of health and safety sort of conscious sort of thing.
Yeah, definitely.
A bit mad. And I know in the past you've actually done like things like the virtual.
Oh yeah, we did the virtual build-a-thon. Yeah.
That I think that works really well, and we did intend to do another one, didn't we? Really, with the sort of the bias T thing for the
TI 100 stuff. Yeah.
Sort of fizzled out a little bit, I think, but oh well. But I think we should certainly something again in the future, because this is actually is very, very good.
It's rock solid. And now people are, using Zoom and various different online platforms as the normal.
Yeah.
Corporately wise, from the company I work for, they're now sat there going, well, this is the new normal. This is going to be at least a year for people not being able to do face-to-face, meetings and stuff. But then they were sat there going, well, realistically, maybe this is the way we should go forward. It's quicker. If someone doesn't turn up, traveling is expensive.
Oh, it's great.
Traveling, yeah, and to go and do a meeting any further than kind of borders of Europe from our side is a night over as well. So it costs a lot of money, and it's like, unless you're going out to make a specific business deal. So if the sales guys need to go out and press the flesh, as it were, proper handshakes and do it face to face, then there should be no reason. Yeah, yeah, something like that. But just to keep the meetings going, and it's the norm now. And also to have your kids coming in, or dog jumping up on the table or whatever, cat, it is all now part of expected. So people are just getting used to it.
Well, I think I do wonder whether or not this whole sort of thing is suddenly, because I know for a fact that probably I won't say employers, companies. It's probably the better way of doing it. But companies have kind of had this expectation where everybody needs to come in. But if you're on the end of a phone, if you're a salesperson on the end of the phone, do you actually need to go in?
No, not really. Well, no, not really. And I think it also works the other way around. So, my background was in tech support. So a lot of my day job on the phone all day long, headset on, chatting to the customers, taking notes, and sometimes doing remote sessions with them, but never using kind of video call. So one of the things that they're trying to push from our side now going forward is that at least 50% of the calls should be video calls,
Right.
so that you've got that face to face.
That it does take away is that kind of, especially in my environment, it is possible for us to work away from home, but at home, but it's I certainly could with my usual job. At the moment, it's impossible what I'm doing at the moment. But if I wanted to, if my normal standard sort of job, I could do that from home, because at the end of the day, I'm sat at my PC answering emails and answering the phone. There's no reason why that couldn't happen at home. But there is one thing that I think that doesn't happen when you're on this, is that kind of inner sort of education where you've got two guys talking about sort of something. You go, oh no, that's Mr. Smith. I'm talking to him now. That's
yes, yeah,
sort of going on. Or if there's a bit of an issue where you might get say two people that don't know what's going on. They're having a bit of a flap over it, and you can say, no, he's been emailed. Didn't know you were in the email chain. So I think that's where maybe sort of something like say Teams is a bit more, also then kind of adds to the whole.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
But again, that is not out. At the end of the day, the only reason I mentioned Zoom is because I think that going forward, I think it's great for sort of families and stuff like that. I mean, because I use Zoom, I didn't realise Zoom's becoming so popular now. I thought, maybe that you or I, maybe the geeky sort of people that knew about all this stuff. And when I was speaking to my sister, she said to me, "Oh no, I've got Zoom."
Brilliant.
Noticing is,
yeah.
When I speak to my Mandy, I sort of say to her, your video's a bit pants. You can do this. That's the difference now.
Yeah, definitely.
She's got it, and we were zooming, talking to one another, and it's absolutely fantastic because it's almost without the sort of like the kind of, I don't know really how to put it, is there's nothing that beats sort of being there,
of course, yeah, but you get that kind of interaction. You can see each other, your hands are flying around, you can see the face and the eyes. It really does help.
I think Zoom for like a meeting and stuff like that. And if you, I'm not sure how they price it, because what you can do now, they've changed it a little bit now on Zoom itself, where up until about a week ago, I think it was that you had rooms were built into the software, so you could click on a room and then it would take you there. But I think it's a bolt-on now that you have to subscribe to.
Right. Okay.
So I'm not sure what they've done and whether or not they've actually changed it.
So for free, you get video conferencing, web conferencing, group collaboration, and security. For pro, it's $11.99 a month. That gives you.
I basically got the first tier.
Yeah. So it includes 100 participants, 24-hour meeting duration. But if I was going to say, if you reach that, then you just drop and start again, right? You know, the free one is 40 minutes, so again, you could drop and restart fairly simply. Calendar, Skype, no. I don't know where it gets to. Company branding, custom emails, da 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 da. No, none of them actually specify anything about the
rooms anymore.
splitting out the rooms.
No, but if you go to, there is actually a bolt-on, which is like the room thing. So, you know, that's interesting, I suppose. If you were going to do this as a
Oh yes, yeah, it's £39 a month.
well, that's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
But again, if you were like a club with subs and sort of stuff like that, maybe that's an option, because that then gives you the ability to push people, you know, in if they want to talk about certain things. That's an interesting concept, isn't it? Like a virtual club with people talking about, you know, 2 meters and data, and some people talking about CW, and you can drop into each of the rooms.
Yeah, exactly that. We use it at our company here, so yeah, I've got access to all those kind of features, and we've used it in some training sessions before now. So we do the kind of the main presentation, and then they'll split us up into groups and drop us into rooms. We'll discuss it, and then they'll go to each group and what did you discuss? What what were your findings, whatever, and bring us back in that way. That works quite well. But yeah, as you say, if you were using it for the club, then you could break it out into maybe presentations, and you have smaller groups in for each of the presentations, and then just swap them around. Or if they're just interested to drop in and have a chat with someone about satellites or 2 meters or HF or whatever, a million different things, then yeah, absolutely. Valves.
It's a good product. So again, if you need sort of something that is super reliable and it's really easy to use, then Zoom is the kiddie. It's absolutely free and pucker. I like.
Yeah. It's good.
Right, running. What else have I got on my list? You were saying that some new old calls after 30 years have come up. Was it a T8 station?
Yeah. So lovely guy that I chat with at work. He's officially retired. Used to work for I think Sony or something like that. But he basically is one of the guys that helps restock the kitchen and restock the coffee and bits and pieces like that. He's always in and out of the office. And many years ago, I had some walkie-talkie or the other on the desk, and he came over and he was just chatting away. And he's, oh yeah, I've got my call sign on G8, blah blah blah, and yeah, we've been chatting ever since, which is great. And we're on WhatsApp, and he pinged me earlier, and he was saying about a week ago, so, oh yeah, I've definitely got some old 2-meter kit somewhere, blah blah blah. Not quite sure where it is. I'm going to go and dig it all out. And yeah, today I got a ping going, right, see you on S20. I was like, what does that mean? Right, okay, hang on, go and look that up on the internet. He goes, come on, where are you? Where are you? I was like, right, okay. And yeah, we got it set up, and he's dug out his radio that was in his stairs cupboard for 30 odd years. And it still works. Yeah, he was like, well, plugged it in, no capacitors popped, and yeah, I've got
capacitors. Just briefly, just switching. I also got an eBay selling channel because obviously I've got a load of stuff to go on eBay and stuff. But I watch this eBay channel that sells a lot of tech and video games and stuff, because I'm a bit of a gaming, and anyway, the guy there turned around and said, "Oh, he got hold of a BBC micro, plugged it in, and it blew up." And I said, "I know what that is."
You've done that one. Yes.
Lots of things in, right?
Yeah.
And
It'll cost you £2. Here's the link to eBay.
exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all good. Yeah. So.
But he's cut from the cloth where he's done his own 2 meter J pole, or whatever you call it nowadays. He's strung that up, and oh yeah, I'll be down in the garage. I've cut out the coax. I've done this. I've thrown it up, and it just works. He's from that generation where, bless him, he's still up and he's still up and about. He must be in his late 70s.
Right.
And he's thrown it all up, and we had a 20-minute chat. At which point his missus came in and said, "Come on, it's tea time, get out." I was like, he goes, "Some things never change." But yeah, that was definitely good. So
Doing this a lot. Obviously, in the shop, we get lots and lots of phone calls. And of late, I've noticed there's a definite pattern. We're getting, obviously lots of people playing with their aerials, coax and stuff like that. The amount of coax that's going out at the moment is just shocking. And it's just tons and tons of things like that. But I'm also noticing that more and more people that maybe have let the hobby go a little bit are coming back, because they're all maybe locked in and they want to talk. It's brilliant.
it's great.
And
they've had runs of coax across the house for many years. It's all got water in. They've plugged it back in for the first time, and yeah, it's not working.
Bolts come out and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, and you were saying about the guy noticed your handheld on your desk.
Yeah.
I happened to be once when I was working in the signage industry that we had some guys come in and do the big industrial blowers that keep the place warm. Well, we had some guys come in and repair that, and when I got chitty chatting to them, one of them was two of them were radio hams.
Cool.
So that was quite funny. And at the time, I was working part time for MLS, so doing Saturday. So we got them to come down and stuff on the Saturday. It was a good laugh, but it's amazing, isn't it, how many people are sort of like closet sort of radio hams.
Yeah, or they got their license many years ago and have never really used it. It was just something that they did maybe for going back to night school or something.
Anyway, there you go.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
We mentioned Zoom, and we've done did we talk about the 9700?
Yeah, we did a little bit. Yeah,
We did.
Remote software has been installed. We need to do some testing.
40 meters. You were sort of saying that you've been on 40 meters.
Yeah, tonight. So I have the BB7V. It's a big old vertical antenna which is up on the scaffolding at the moment, and it seems to be well. I've managed to get out to kind of the Shetland Isles, kind of going off to the north, and then this evening I managed to work a couple of stations in France. There's a huge amount of Italian stations on, and a lot of Spanish stations on, and it was quite busy on this. So I'm not sure if the antenna's bedding itself in. I always kind of have it in my head that antennas take a little bit of time to, once they're put up, it takes a little bit of time for them to bed in the radio to get used to it. And I don't know why it never seems to work immediately. It always seems to take a little bit of time from my point of view. But
probably it's just one of those things, really, with the way the propagation goes. But anyway. Yeah. But no, with the BB7, obviously that's an area which is one with a load at the bottom. And for those that are interested, it's got a load at the bottom, and obviously it's about a 7 meter sort of aluminium pole.
Massive, yeah.
They're probably one of the only antennas you can put up high without any radials. Sorry, not any radials, without any. What is it? Radials?
Counterpoise.
Like thing.
Yeah.
There are others, I'm sure, but that one's very, very. It's basically an end-fed wire on as a stick. But the another one actually is quite good in very similar vein. I've actually got one here. I've got a high gain, which is, again, it's a high gain DX88. I think that's right. But that one does 80 through to 10 in sort of like medium sort of chunks. That's not so bad, but that's ground mounted. So I should really, at the moment, I haven't really got an HF radio here. I've got just here. That there. That is. Can you see it? Just
Yep. Can see it.
that's a U-bit X. That's a neat little thing, but it's only 10 watts.
Okay, that's not going to get you anywhere. Not when the Italians are shouting loudly. Even the guy in France, he's like, "Yeah, I'm only running 500 watts through my 4-element beam." I was like, "Oh, really? Okay."
Well, yeah. You can imagine. I hear some stories. Yeah, there's some funny amplifier people around.
Yes. Yeah.
So, yeah, so I think HF 2 meters are all sort of busy at the moment, which is really, really nice. And long may it last. I think I don't know whether this will stick, whether people will sort of carry on, whether when this is all over, they'll just go get back to life, go on holiday and stuff like that and forget about radio.
Hope not.
Yeah, I do as well.
Even if it's just a once a week check-in or a net or something, it's got to be better than CQ contest, blah blah blah, 5973, 5973. Bye, next. Oh man, that is soul destroying.
Wow. Well, actually, downstairs I've got a 2 meter Yagi, a really nice one, really big one. It is.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the one that's yeah.
Get that up. I haven't worked out how yet, but yes, that needs to go up. The only thing is, where I'm here, it's like flats dotted around, isn't it? So I'm not going to get the best out of that. So we're going to have to go portable again.
Yeah. At some point, maybe. In the future, we'll put that on hold until probably October.
Stick that in the diary for maybe next year.
Next year when it's a bit warmer. Yeah.
When it's warmer, when it's like freer.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's locked in. Right.
Indeed, I understand where you're coming from. And until then, yeah. Question. Morse code, Morse key, even.
Oh, have I done one?
Yeah, the brass one, the very good-looking one. Hello.
Yeah. Can you not hear me now?
I can't hear you now. Sorry, I think we keep cutting each other off.
Oh, all right. Sorry. I'll put a plug on for you.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're gonna.
I'm gonna give it a bash. Let's put it that way. It's not like I'm going anywhere, so might as well take time to learn it.
Maybe that's what someone should do that as a virtual Zoom session. More
Or do it on the radio.
or on the radio. 2 meters
Exactly.
can be done, But anyway, there you go. Tony sent me a text message today from work, and he's got a Raspberry Pi TV hat.
What? Wow, that sounds cool.
I know. And I've learned today that my mixer here, my X-Air Behringer mixer, I can run on a Raspberry Pi.
Ooh, very interesting.
I have a complete 7-inch screen with a touch screen mixer.
Whoa. Okay, that sounds cool.
I think that's really, really cool.
I think you should set that up as a project and demonstrate it. And I think you should get Tony's TV Pi, maybe, and Tony as well. Maybe we should get him on as a special guest.
I don't know.
Demo it.
Mind you, he's been on Zoom recently. Did you see him? He was on the MLS team thing, Meet the Team video.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah. No, I've got to send him our boy a microphone from work. I'm going to get that over to him. I'll send that over to him DPD or something, because his audio was dreadful.
Ah, okay.
Tony.
Or him.
Sounded like he was in the toilet.
Oh, we've all seen those videos. There was a Zoom session going on that someone recorded, and it had about 30 participants in it. Right. And this poor lady, basically, she thinks she's turned off her video camera and she's kind of dragged the laptop into the toilet. And you got the presenter going for it, and it's quite a professional setup. So you got the presenter is presenting and hasn't noticed this at all. Everybody else in the sort of across the top is like laughing their heads off, and the person who's controlling the meeting is desperately trying to kill the camera and the audio. and kick them out.
No.
Yes, yeah. I was like, oh dear.
Well,
And
that
then you just see
down
Vanessa has left the conference.
the ugly side of Zoom meetings.
Yes. Check your settings, check them twice. Don't ever say anything that you don't want to be heard.
Oh no. Right. So yeah. So maybe I'll get him to pop in and do one of these with us and tell us how he got on. I think that'll do, wouldn't it? I think we've covered pretty much the world and its oyster.
I believe so, mate. Yeah, it's all good until next week. We really do need to find some fun topics.
Well,
Maybe drag some, maybe get some photos and video footage in over the weekend. Maybe we can blend that in as well.
well, maybe we could do that.
This is what we did in the house, and this is what we did in the garden.
You don't want to go in my garden at the moment. I've got the 2 bins in there.
Oh,
And
lovely. Yeah.
all day I've been like, as I've been going outside, I've just been like wandering around the garden and picking up bits of rubbish that have blown in with all that wind. Amazing. I thought I got it all. There's another bit in the corner going in all the bushes, just where it's literally, I've got a wall all the way around.
Yeah.
How the hell did it get in? I mean, I've got
top.
Toys R Us bags. Toys R Us folded up.
Toys R Us. I was going to say that's like at least 5 years under, right?
Coke tins. How'd they get in? I don't even.
No idea. I think you need to look at last week's Friday night dinner, the TV program.
Right.
There's a plastic bag stuck in the tree outside the house, and the dad needs to get it out by all means possible. Have a watch of that. It's definitely worthwhile.
In a plastic bag in a tree.
Yes.
I'll do.
It frustrates the living daylights out of him.
I'm sorry about the light.
That's okay. You're looking good. You're doing all right.
Oh, nice. Right. Okay.
Oh, and by the way, just a quick check-in for the beard from last week. It's getting very wiry now. I don't think it's going to fill completely, but
well,
yeah, we'll see how long we can keep it going before it drives me insane.
Have you got grey patches?
Yes.
I thought so.
Yeah, they kind of look like maybe I can get some of that hair dye type stuff or beard dye.
Well, you can get beard oil, can't you? Put that in there. But anyway, well, anyway, we're waffling now. So, yeah.
Good stuff.
Thanks for watching. Is that a Red Dwarf thing? Is it? No, that's Star Trek. Okay, so take you by one and all. Bye.
Cheers. Bye bye.